Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping straight into something pretty big in the Microsoft Fabric world, Direct Lake.
That's right.
It's being called a game changer, really looking to shift how Power BI handles, well, massive data sets.
Absolutely. It tackles that age-old problem we've seen.
You mean the trade-off, waiting hours for import mode refreshes or putting up with slow direct query for real-time stuff?
Exactly that headache. Speed versus freshness. It's been a constant battle.
Direct Lake aims to fix that. Okay, let's unpack this.
Well, to get the context, we've seen data platforms evolve from warehouses to lakes, and now this lakehouse idea is really taking hold. Fabric is central there.
And Direct Lake fits into that lakehouse picture.
Perfectly. It's designed to give you that high performance and the near real-time data, kind of bridging the gap between those old modes.
Right, the import versus direct query dilemma. I've seen teams wrestle with that constantly. So how does Direct Lake actually pull this off?
Okay, so fundamentally, it's a new storage mode for your Power BI models, but only within Fabric workspaces.
Only Fabric.
Got it. And the key thing is, it talks directly to Delta tables sitting in one lake. That's Fabric's built-in lake.
Directly means no importing data into Power BI itself.
Pretty much. No big data duplication exercise.
Yeah.
It avoids that whole import step for the most part.
So a single copy of the data in the lake. That sounds simpler.
It is, and it still uses that super fast Vertipack engine, the same one that makes import mode so quick for in-memory queries.
Okay, but if it's not importing everything, how does it get the data into memory for Vertipack?
That's the clever part. It uses something called transcoding. Think of it like a smart on-demand loader.
On demand.
Yeah, when you run a DAX query, it figures out exactly which bits of data it needs from the Delta files.
Just the columns and rows for that specific query.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And it loads only that data into memory. Very efficient with resources.
And what about keeping the data fresh? If it's not importing, how does it update?
Right, so the refresh operation is totally different. It's called framing.
Framing.
Right. And it's incredibly fast because it's just metadata. It basically looks at the Delta log, the transaction log for the Delta table, sees what new data files have been added, and just updates its internal pointers to those new files. It takes, like, seconds.
Seconds, not hours.
Literally seconds. So you get near real-time freshness without that massive operational overhead of reloading everything. It's a huge deal.
This feels like a big strategic shift for Microsoft too, doesn't it? Really leaning into open formats like Delta and Parquet, the whole lakehouse idea.
Absolutely. It's a profound move. It lessens those worries about being locked into proprietary formats.
And boosts interoperability. Like, can you use other tools, maybe Databricks, on the same data?
Yes, that's the beauty of the open format.
Yeah.
The data in one lake in Delta format is accessible to Fabric's engines like Spark or SQL, but also potentially to external tools that understand Delta Lake.
So the benefits are speed, like import, freshness, like direct query, but without the big downsides.
That's the core promise. Plus, a much simpler architecture. One copy of the data. Less ETL hassle, less storage cost.
And you mentioned something about ROI exceeding memory limits.
Right. Because it only loads the needed data for a query, the total size of your data set in the lake can actually be much larger than the memory capacity of your Fabric SKU.
So you might not need to upgrade your capacity quite so quickly, even with huge data sets.
Exactly. It helps maximize the value you get from your existing capacity.
Okay, this sounds fantastic, but there have to be some catches, right? What's the fine print people need to know?
Fair question. First, as we said, it's Fabric in one lake only. Your data needs to be in Delta or Parquet format in one lake.
Okay, that's a clear prerequisite. What else?
Second, there's this concept of fallback. Under certain conditions, Direct Lake can fall back to behaving like direct query.
Fallback. When would that happen?
Things like using certain SQL constructs, complex row-level security, or maybe if the query just needs way more data than fits in the available memory.
Falling back means slower query.
Potentially, yes. The system prioritizes actually running the query over guaranteeing that top-tier Direct Lake speed. But admins can actually control this fallback behavior. There's a setting for it.
So it's not magic. The underlying data in the lake still needs to be well managed.
Absolutely crucial. Performance really depends on having well-structured, optimized Delta tables. Things like V-order optimization, which helps organize the data within the Parquet files, make a big difference.
Right, optimize at the source. And I assume bigger data sets still benefit from more powerful Fabric capacities.
Oh, definitely. While it's efficient, having a higher SKU like an F64 or bigger gives you more memory for caching more data. which helps maintain that really high performance consistently, especially under heavy load.
So, thinking about ideal use cases, who is this really perfect for right now?
It shines in, let's say, IT-managed analytics projects, especially those already embracing a lakehouse architecture. Think large-scale data.
Like the gold layer in a medallion architecture.
Exactly. Perfect for that curated, reliable data layer, feeding dynamic dashboards or operational reports where freshness and speed are both critical.
It really does seem like a pivotal step, merging that speed and near real-time capability for enterprise data within Fabric.
It truly is. It enables organizations to be much more agile, making decisions on data that's incredibly current.
Seconds old, potentially?
Yeah.
That changes the game for responsiveness.
Fundamentally. So maybe a final thought to leave you with.
Go for it.
As data keeps exploding, what if you stop thinking about your data as just this static thing you have to copy and move around? What if you thought about it as this dynamic open resource, instantly accessible? How could that redefine your next big analytics project?